what happens to Tulane's Ryan Thomas, number 8. He's the injured Green Wave player to the left of your picture.
Comes in low and tries to cut Buckley, and he ends up just hammering his helmet into the turf at Campbell Stadium. You see it rolling off there. No, folks, his head's not in it, but he feels like it is right now.
Shannon Baker and Matt Fryer are the 2 receivers in the game for FSU. The training staff working on Thomas. The flag, the indication was, Keith, I thought, a face mask, but it may have been inadvertent. This is Lee. Or decline, because nothing was stepped off, and by that I mean an inadvertent flag. Amply across midfield and to the Tulane 49-yard line. Shane Wiegand, another stop from his weak side linebacking position. The numbers building up now for Amply, who has carried the ball 5 times for a total of 36 yards. Better than a 6-yard per carry average. And Edgar Bennett, too, is having a big night. 4 carries in this football game. 17 yards. Here comes Lee. What a hole on the right side. Mike Morris will get healed in a hurry if guys like Patrick McNeil, a freshman tight guard, Kevin Mancini on that right side, keep opening holes like this. Morris is going to want to be back in there playing. First down, Thornhill on the stop for Tulane.
Keep a look at Edgar Bennett here. You're going to see why he does other things than run. Good up front point of attack, blocking, and Lee just explodes into the backfield.
It's a first down. First and 10 at the Tulane 36, and here comes Florida State once again, leading 14-3. Keldon Airborne, the Weldon Airborne, and what a grab by Shannon Baker. Put those white gloves up into the air, snared it, pulled it down. Thornhill and Hamilton on the stop. We talked earlier with Mike Morris. Here's the young freshman who is taking his place, Patrick McNeil. Redshirt freshman, 6'3", 280, Palmetto, Florida native. He played 94 snaps, Keith, against Brigham Young on opening night.
When I played 100 snaps, 100 plays was your letter. He almost lettered in a game. Nicknamed the rookie because last year being a freshman was always around but redshirted. Not a rookie anymore.
No, he's not. And no rookie here. Amply dancing to the 22. Flag goes down from 3 separate officials. We will have an obvious face mask. Mike Stay was the safety man holding on to the cage of Amply. That is a pickup of 14.
That's the big one.
A personal foul call. It comes with 9:29 remaining in the first half. Our referee, Rod Daly.
Personal foul, tackled by the face mask, half the distance to the goal, first down. There's a 5-yard face mask inadvertent, and then there's the personal foul face mask. You want to see Stay just grabbing. Watch the head come all the way back around. Miss Lee over in the Panhandle is not happy right now.
FSU and its offensive coordinator in Brad Scott and head coach Bobby Bowden had designed a game plan with what they called fastball plays. Quick hitting plays at the line of scrimmage. The fastball's humming right now, and Amply looking like $1 million. He hits it quick. Look at this. Cut down at the 7-yard line. Roscoe Davis, Shane Wiegand from the linebacking core. Tulane plays conservatively on defense, Keith. Not stunning as much as we have seen them in years gone by. Very vanilla. That can make life tough if you have deep handoffs, slow developing plays.
Exactly, and that's why you alluded to the fact that Brad and Coach Bowden had put in their fastball plays. The defensive linemen for Tulane, 4 of them will try to stand the offensive lineman up and read as opposed to stunning or trying to slide through gaps. Therefore, you have to attack them quick.
New receiver in the game, Matt Fryer. Casey's hit 6 of his last 7 passes, and he misses an open Shannon Baker when he felt heat. Got knocked down, did Weldon. Baker had an inside move on the defensive back, and Thornhill was open for what would have been FSU's 3rd score. And Casey simply missed him because of the defensive pressure.
Watch the route by Baker here. He's going to get upfield pressure. He's going to turn out and then back in. Weldon getting pressure in his face, can't deliver the ball, is a little bit errant with it, but Baker open. Weldon just not able to get the ball to him because of good Tulane pressure in the backfield.
128 yards through the air and 2 scores for that young man who may be this nation's finest quarterback. He faces the challenge here of 3rd and 6. The blitz is on, and that left Bennett wide open, and Casey overshot him. A rare blitz by Tulane. Nobody was left to pick up Bennett. And he was wide open.
Well, there's where Weldon gets a A+ and about a D-. A+ for the read and a D- for delivery. And there's nobody of the 60+ thousand in Campbell Stadium right now that feels any worse than Casey does. Wide open Bennett just misses him.
Bobby Bowden said that this young man in Dan Mowry, who's set to attempt the field goal, the first 3 kicks he had in Anaheim, Bowden said, I thought he was bowling. They were low-line drives. From 25 yards away, this one, Coach, is more to your liking, I'm sure. Florida State pulling away from Tulane, leading 17-3 in the first half. More after this from NCNB, National Bank of Florida, the Lone Source.
How to improve your home involves some difficult decisions.
You know, we could use a bigger kitchen.
A new bath.
Kitchen.
A new bath.
We could use
At NCNB, we don't think financing should be one of them.
Okay, a bath. Upstairs.
Upstairs.
That's why we've set up a loan information.
Welcome to Seminole football on Sunshine Network, where the Noles, Dan Mowry, has just booted his first field goal of his still young varsity career, just a freshman. This one from 25 yards away. The Noles have built their lead now into an even 2 touchdowns. The reason they had to settle for that field goal by Mowry is a Casey Weldon off target twice, Keith. Once to Baker, who was open in the end zone, and Bennett, who was all alone at the 5.
Well, we'll give him credit, give Tulane credit for good pressure on the Baker miss, but Weldon will hear about this in the film session about missing Bennett. He was wide open.
7 plays, covering 47 yards. It took 3 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock. Fumble fingers in the end zone by Tulane. The ball will be downed by Hamilton back there. The drive capped by Mowry's 3-pointer. Tulane with the football back. It was 3 and out last time, and the defense, which has played admirably well for the Greenies from New Orleans, held this vaunted Seminole attack to just the 3. Tulane needs to sustain and give that defense a rest, and if you're an FSU fan, watch those gold helmets come flying toward the quarterback, Billy Duncan, who begins 1st and 10 from his 20-yard line. Chance Miller, the lone setback. Miller cradles the football, protects it with both arms, and fights forward to the 22-yard line, setting up 2nd down. There are a number of Florida players, Florida natives, who are starting and playing for Tulane this evening, including the center, Charles Herman. He's from Panama City. Look at all these guys from the Sunshine State that went to school in New Orleans. Janchek defensively. And for FSU, Sean Jackson, Coward, Adams, come from Bayou country. 2nd and 8 after the pickup of 2 by Miller. Bobbled snap from center, and Duncan fell on the football. Herman, you know, you say something nice about Herman being from Florida, and he can't execute the snap with Duncan.
It always happens anytime you talk about someone throwing 8 completions in a row they miss, or they go talking about the hometown and where they're from and the fact they're coming back to the Sunshine State to play, and a bobbled exchange. Florida State with mass substitutions going to their nickel package. Florida State runs 2 first-team defenses. They run their basic first team and they run their nickel first team. And there are a lot of new faces when the nickel's out there, like right now.
Yeah, they got 5 defensive backs there now for FSU. It's 3rd and 9, an obvious passing situation. Tulane from the shotgun. Duncan hit as he released it. Miller made the grab. This will not be enough for a first down, however. The Noles leveled Duncan. The first man there that cracked him in the backfield was FSU's Todd McIntosh. Tulane's Andy Abramowitz, number 65, trying to provide protection to set up that screen to Miller, but the defense just came through too fast, and the secondary had it read as well. Hunting Clark, 3 and out a second time. The heavy rush, can he get it away? He just does so. He return from his 27. He'll work this way, looking for interference. And then he slipped at the 32. He was pointing direction to his specialty team teammate. Wilbert Gilmore hustled out and made the tackle for Tulane. A punt of 50 yards. Excellent by Chip Clark under a heavy rush. And Buckley brought it back 7 yards.
Clark's leg is going to get in shape real quick. He had 8 punts last week. Also a little bit of a thespian out there at Tulane. A little bit of a, let's fall back and see if we can get one of those little yellow hankies. No flag on the play, first and down. 10 yards to go, Florida State.
There's Terrell Buckley, who's played well in the secondary this evening, and he's always a threat to go the different distance on special teams. Operating out of the eye, first and 10. Weldon goes airborne. He has it complete to the far side. Upfield at the 40 and ahead to the 41, the 42-yard line. It's Lonnie Johnson, the lumbering tight end who already has a score tonight. Close to the first down. Brandon Hamilton, the cornerback, knocked him down about a half-yard shy of the first down stick that he needed to reach at the Florida State 43.
Florida State running combination routes. You see Eric Terrell, number 7, Patton. His teammate Terrell had run a corner route, tight end underneath. Weldon with a good read, converts it.
Bennett and Lee split behind Weldon on 2nd and 1. Here comes Ham with speed outside the midfield. First down and shoved back. Some excellent blocking out there. Lonnie Johnson, who just made the catch, had a nice block in the flat. Bennett leading the way as well. Thornhill and McDowell from the Green Wave secondary made the tackle, but not before FSU picks up another first down and continues to march.
Watch how Amp Lee protects the football. He gets in traffic, he's a little upright. When he gets in traffic, he gets down. Watch him wrap that ball up as he's got defenders all over him. When he finishes, he's got both hands on the football.
Terrell wide to the left side. McCorvey to the right side and tap dancing across the midfield stripe, and right in the middle, that Seminole emblem at the center of the field. Sales Amp Lee. Michael Batiste, the senior defensive end from Beaumont, Texas, made the step.
See some on-field instructions going on with the Tulane coaching staff. You'd be amazed at the adjustments that go on during the ball game. Complete game plans can be altered based on what a given defense or a given offense is doing. And it's Florida State, as much as anyone else, it's renowned for their halftime adjustments.
New tailback, Sean Jackson, replaces the workhorse in Lee. Weldon fires, and he overshoots. Again, an open receiver, this time Eric Terrell, at the 30-yard line. Terrell had position. Thornhill came up and whacked him on the back of the helmet. We introduce you to Sean Jackson, a New Orleans native, attended St. Augustine High School there. The number 2 tailback in an arsenal for Bowden and company. Last year, averaged close to 8 yards a carry, 7.9 to be exact, and he showed that was no fluke when he carried the ball 9 times for 75 yards against the Cougars in Anaheim. He's still in the game. It is 3rd and 7. And the catch is made close to the first down marker by the tight end in Johnson over the middle. That's a tough route to run, Keith, when you're going to get hammered, and you can hear the crack all the way up here when Hamilton and Wiegand sandwich Johnson.
Watch the right side of your screen. Johnson's going to work inside and then back out. And Tulane all over him. And he's about probably 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet, a yard, if you will, away from the first down, 4th and 1. And Coach Bowden has decided to go for it.
They have removed Terrell and added a tight end in Hart. Hart and Johnson, 2 tight ends. The lone receiver, McCorvey. And the toss. This is Sean Jackson. Jackson earns the first down and is thrown out of bounds. Inside the 40 to the 38. Thornhill on the stop. Significant there, perhaps, that Coach Bowden left Jackson in the game on a big play like that?
Florida State wanting to get Jackson some playing time. Coach Bowden and the coaching staff not afraid to go to him now, just like they would go to Amp Lee. Toss sweep. I'm a little surprised at the call. I'm definitely not surprised with Jackson being in, but you would think that they would go with some type of fastball, quick-hitting play. This time they go with the toss. And it's a good call in retrospect.
Florida State with the lead, 17-3, and flags fly before the ball is snapped. The play clock shows 0. Illegal procedure, however, is ruled against FSU. The Noles have not been penalized in a while.
Moving on the offense. 1st and 15.
The guilty party, Reggie Dixon, the strong side guard, number 73, the senior move prior to the snap. For Coach Bobby Bowden, the second winningest active coach. College football, he trails only Joe Paterno of Penn State, who picked up his 230th win today. 100,000 to nothing, I think, was the final score.
I think it was along the lines of the national debt.
80-something to nothing over Cincinnati. Weldon, after the penalty, has stepped off. Has time, guns deep, downfield. Another grab by Johnson. Inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. Made the stop. Florida State's game plan obviously was to get the tight end in the game, and Ronnie Johnson has killed Tulane in the first half. That's his 4th grab tonight.
Florida State doing a great job of keeping the safeties occupied. The safeties are looking outside, and that leaves the tight end wide open over the middle. Now the next step, something you'll probably see as we continue on and on into the second half, is to get the running back upfield, either Bennett or Lee or Jackson or Paul Moore or whoever, and try to attack that middle seam with those 2 deep safeties being occupied to the outside.
3 tight end formation following the gain of 36 yards, and Sean Jackson still in the ball game for Ambly. Picks up a couple as he finds the going tough inside the 5, and right at the 5-yard line stripe is where the football will be placed for second down. Sean Jackson lauded by his coaches for his confidence and the maturity that he gained between his freshman year and his sophomore year. He impressed me with how mature he was when he arrived here from New Orleans a year ago.
Coach Brad Scott described him as having the best dip and lift. When he makes contact, he gets low and explodes through the would-be tackler.
Florida State has called its second timeout as Casey Weldon comes over to talk to Coach Bobby Bowden, and the man that we've been talking about quite a bit with the headset on to the left of your picture in Brad Scott, the offensive coordinator. As Keith said in our opening comments to you tonight, this is a rare occasion. A number 1 team playing in Doak Campbell Stadium. What makes this one even more special is that this time, rather than the Pitt Panthers led on that occasion by Dan Marino, this is FSU ranked number 1. In double ones, Casey Weldon heads to the huddle, and we will show you that Western Michigan is next up for Florida State. We will have that game for you here on both pay-per-view and on Sunshine Network. And then following a week off, the Michigan Wolverines will follow, and the remaining schedule, as you see.
Florida State with 180 yards passing. Lonnie Johnson with 130 yards receiving. Now that's a bet I wouldn't have taken at the beginning of the game.
Lonnie Johnson, a career night for the sophomore from Miami Senior High School. Following the timeout, 2nd and 5. Here comes the toss to Jackson. The Noles appear determined to get that young man a score, and he high steps it inside the 5, perhaps to the 4-yard line. Tulane's defense, though, has impressed me too. Shane Wiegand and Ray Benford, 2 of the 3 linebackers in that 4-3 scheme, stuck those white helmets into Jackson pretty hard.
They really do. This defense will get after you. It's not a defense that's timid. When we say that they're kind of a slow read up front or a soft read up front, it's not that they're playing timid. It's just that they're trying to see and read and go what happens. And it's a very aggressive defense, but playing in a different way.
The tight end Hart comes in motion to the near side. And firing his way, it's caught for a touchdown. The tight end score again. The 3rd TD by the tight end. The man beaten was Rod McDowell, who nearly was able to pat it away. You're familiar with throwing to the back, familiar with throwing to the Fab Four. This has become the dynamic duo rather than the Fab Four, and Hart and Johnson, the tight end.
Hart was split out, flexed just a little bit, just runs a simple flare pattern. Great touch by Weldon to lead that ball away from the defender, but in a position where Hart could bring it in.
Now he's a perfect 3 of 3 at PATs. He's added a 3-point field goal as well, and it's 23-3, Florida State. Warren Hart with 2 receptions, both for touchdowns, and Lonnie Johnson with a 78-yard TD catch off the strong right arm of Casey Weldon.
Florida State's offense becoming untracked.
A 21-point cushion for FSU here in the first half. 93 seconds to go prior to intermission. Checking up on scores around the nation today in the world of college football. We'll have those scores for you in just a moment. There you go. Number 3, Michigan. Found Boston College feisty early. They were playing that in Beantown. Michigan wins it. Washington, little trouble with Stanford. There is that 81-0 Penn State score. Florida in a big way. Notre Dame a winner. Clemson a winner. The only upset in the top 20 was Texas, which fell at Mississippi State. The Longhorns ranked number 13. Hamilton bobbles the ball and then gets past Florida State's first line of defenders and brings it out to the 29-yard line. Stayed with it, and the first wave missed it. Hamilton with a 26-yard return.
We've talked about it before, but oftentimes when the deep receiver drops the ball, the pursuers let up just a little bit. That time, Hamilton able to get out.
There's that Texas upset. Don't you know Jackie Sherrill is celebrating tonight? That's been a lot to him in his first year at Mississippi State, having formerly been at Texas A&M. Nebraska pounds on Utah. Iowa over Hawaii. Bama rolls. And Ohio State, amidst some controversy, picks one up for John Cooper, their head coach. Duncan to Miller. Nowhere to go. Dan Footman, the junior defensive end, hit him in the backfield. A couple other scores for you. Syracuse, playing in its dome, wins. And Baylor will go at it with the Miners tonight at home. And Western Michigan, our next foe for FSU. Little trouble with Jerry Faust, Zips of Akron. 55 seconds and counting here. Remaining in the first half, we'll have the president of Florida State, Dr. Dale Lick, join us at the half. Looking forward to introducing ourselves to him. On the receiving end of the Duncan toss is Wilbert Urson. Upfield at the 34-yard line. Kirk Carruthers, the linebacker, made the stop for FSU.
30 seconds. Tulane not in a big hurry to get plays off, probably wanting to just go in and regroup. They've been effective at times on offense, especially with that 2 tight end, 2 wide out, 1 back set, running the ball at Florida State. But some adjustments have been made. Florida State a little tougher up front.
The gain on the play was of 8 yards, 3rd and 4. Final play of the first half. Tulane may not run it. They won't. First half is over. Tulane had played fairly well in the first quarter, but America's top team shows its dominance. And for the very first time in history, playing as number 1, Florida State shows that it deserves to be number 1. 24-3 in Doak Campbell Stadium. A very full halftime show awaits us here. We mentioned the interview with Dr. Dale Lick, the new president at FSU. We'll have that for you. Statistics and highlights from the first half, and we'll enjoy the marching chiefs as well. All that ahead here on Sunshine Network.
Fans recognize this face, but in a uniform as opposed to in a coaching outfit. Stan Shiver, 1988 graduate, taking over. Stan, what's it like in terms of a transition from the field to the bench?
It's a lot different. Still get the excitement, though.
Now, the defensive backs were supposed to be an area of suspect this year. Leon Fowler and John Davis taking over relatively new spots as starters. How have they come along?
They've come along great. You know, John missed the spring because of a shoulder injury, had surgery on it, came back, did a great job during 2 days. He's really coming along.
And how about in terms of depth? If we look at the linebackers, and see almost too deep at every spot, how about the guys backing up the starters?
Very good. You know, when the backups come in, we don't lose a whole lot, and that means a lot down the stretch of the game.
Now, one young man that Seminole fans hope to be looking for, of course, is Derek Brooks, who was the USA Today High School Defensive Player of the Year, and apparently he was very impressive when he came into camp.
Very smart kid, a great guy, works hard, and it won't be long before he cracks that lineup.
Now, a lot of people may not know the Shiver tradition from Tifton, Georgia is continuing here this year. The youngest Shiver, Clay, has come in. Was there any decision whatsoever that Clay might go somewhere else?
It was his decision. We left it up to him, and I'm kind of glad he came down.
Well, Clay, of course, plays center. You're a defensive back. He may have pushed you around a little bit if you'd had something to say.
Yeah, I kind of keep away from him now, you know, especially at mealtime.
All right, Clay. Stan, thanks a lot for joining us. Paul, back to you.
As Stan. The Seminoles leading by 3 touchdowns, 24-3. Casey Weldon has thrown 3 separate touchdowns, and our own Stacy Strazis had an opportunity to visit with the family Weldon earlier this week.
This is the only place these days where FSU quarterback Casey Weldon is not the big fish in the big pond.
Hey, what you got on there, June bug?
Hooked on the lure, away from the limelight, hanging out with the guy who snaps him the ball, FSU center Robbie Baker.
Me and Rob, working with the rest of the team, trying to, you know, sell our videotape of how to catch fish. Perfect cast. I have to be able to work that thing right up underneath the branch and hit the hole sometimes, and it definitely helps being able to throw the football and rod and reel.
It was right here in Tallahassee at the North Florida Christian School where Casey cast his football talent across town to the attention of FSU. You could say both made a big catch from a small private school. It's not a fishtail, but rather a boyhood dream come true.
Pressure coming, and he stays on his feet, throws it downfield, intended for Bruce Lassay. Lassay makes the catch, touchdown, Florida State. Casey Weldon, what a throw.
However, it was 2 years till number 11 was the #1 starter.
They said a light came on, but I don't know, I was never aware it wasn't. It went off.
Weldon will sprint out to his right and throw his first pass. Hawks the arm. Now he wants to go long. Downfield, he's got Dorsey wide open. He makes the catch at the 420, to the 15, to the 10. It is a Florida State touchdown! Touchdown FSU!
You know, I realized for a lot of kids, you know, we're all heroes, all of us that play on the team, and but we're no better than they are. We're just average guys that can play a stupid game called football.
But Casey is not your average college guy. He never misses a Sunday supper with his parents and 4 sisters. He's a husband, he's a father.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kendall. Happy birthday to you.
If I wasn't married and didn't have Kendall and a family and everything, I might not be able to keep it all in perspective. You know, I might think I was that big man on campus. I do wish I could sing and surf. I'd feel like I've arrived then.
That's why I'm not thinking. That's probably why I had so much respect.
But most of all, Casey would like to be an NFL draft pick.
You know, I got a cousin that's a cleft palate, and I'd love to just send her to the best and take care of her. She's special. You know, those babies always are.
Right on the dirt, and it looks like it scraped up their arm.
And there's others Casey hopes he has the opportunity to help.
I've had so much help, you know, along the way. It's unreal. I couldn't, if I had to thank everybody, it'd be here forever. So many people have helped me out, and I just want to return the favor. I guess, you know, lately I've realized there's not a whole lot more to life than family and friends.